Morning, and it's a bit of a cloudy Sunday morning, and I just thought I'd do a little bit of an update on my Carrera electric bike that I bought from Halfords for, what was it, just under £1,000, 999 squid. And to be fair, I haven't used it as much as I wanted to, but I have used it, and it's been good as gold. There was some earlier facts like the 60-mile range, which I'm sure I read somewhere on some marketing bump about the bike. I've not tried going too far in the lowest power range, so possibly you'd get, I don't know, 30 miles maybe on the lowest range. On the medium range, I've hit 20 miles, and that's medium range plus using some. That's the medium range plus using some of the high power to get up some hills. I'm, what am I? 5'10" and weighing in at about 16.5 stone. So my cardio is shit, and I didn't really buy the bike for cardio. I just bought it to get out on a bike, to have a play, and that's what I do. Perhaps I'll stick some footage in this video. I live around the Brighton area, Southwick, and I've got to go over to Worthing because there's yet again another fuel crisis on because of lack of drivers and the fact that people are panic buying everywhere. Amazing, fantastic bunch. There's a few questions I get asked. Where should we start? So the battery. There you go, fully charged battery, and people are having trouble getting this on and off the bike. And what I find is, if you put it up sort of on the electrodes, and you can see it's above everything, and then just let it drop in, and that's it. You can hear the click and it's in there. Getting it out is definitely stiffer than getting it in. Come out, turn the key, and as I say, you want to be pulling up, diagonally up, to get it out from the electrodes at the bottom and away from the frame to get it off the locking hump at the top. So fingers in your divot at the top there and just pull it out. Over time it hasn't got any easier. There are times when it feels like it's jammed in there more. It feels like it's jammed in there more, and what I find is I'm trying to pull at the wrong angle. I'm trying to pull too directly out instead of coming up. So what I've found is towards the handlebars, so you're sort of following this cross member but slightly up, and a good sharp yank. You can get your fingers in the top edge there, turn the key, and out you go. Right, what else did we have? I've put a silly little bag on there so I can put my phone in it. About £5 off of eBay, nothing dramatic. Velcro straps on the main frame and a Velcro strap around the front head unit to hold it steady. It does flop a bit, but I don't mind. I've bought one of these pumps. It's got a gauge on it as well. What I have found, if I leave the bike for too long, because it is a push fit, when you go to push it onto your valve, the valve just pushes back into the wheel, so you can't actually get this on enough to lock it in position to start pumping. So what I use then is one of these elbow valves, so I can undo that. This one's a little bit low, so you'll see when you push in, oh, solid as anything. Oh, this one's behaving. There must be more air in there than I thought. I thought this was a bit lower at the front. Wants a little bit, but nothing much. But yeah, when you try and push this onto the valve, it tries to push it into the wheel. So all I do is put this adapter on, like that, and then I can actually hold the back of this while I push that on. What are we at? About 15 pound of pressure, so give that a little bit more. Where are we at? 20. There you go. That's good enough for me. That's just over 20 psi. Just over 20 psi. So that's how I get round the valve getting pushed in if you're using one of these pumps. And indeed, if you have this problem, probably some of you use your bikes a lot more than me. And as such, you don't have the problem of it going that low. In there, that's it. You don't have the problem of your tyre going that low that you can't get the that type of pump on it. What else have we got? This is my battery pack, which has its charge lead, and that's just the lead for connecting it up to my headlamp. Which has 3 settings of brightness, which I've only been out at sort of dusk when it's starting to get dark, and that's plenty good enough to be seen. I haven't tried it in dark enough conditions to know whether it's any good to actually see where I'm going. Being that we're coming back into winter and I'm getting a little bit more bike usage, yeah, I'm hoping I'll find out whether that's actually going to be bright enough in the winter. What else we got? Bottle holder, just expands. Again, eBay, just clamps onto the handlebars, about £5, probably not even that much. The lights were about 20 quid, and that's meant to be a super bright one. And then on the rear, I've just got this little unit that runs off battery, which has got a switch somewhere at the back, so you can have all different patterns depending on your particular wants and needs. Comfy gel pad, which is comfortable. I'm not used to riding bikes, and the saddle that came with it did lead to a bit of saddle soreness, so I bought this one, which has got the gel padding on and is slightly wider. And what did I do yesterday? I did about an hour on the bike yesterday, and just starting to get uncomfortable. But as I say, I'm a lardy bloke who needs his comfort. Definitely need my comfort. And that, as I've said before, has the handy hole in the middle. Drop your ball sack through, get it lovely and aired while you're going along the road. Beautiful. Such a good feeling. Right, let's turn this around. One of the things I get a lot of questions about is where I got my stand from. And it was on eBay, and all I did was looked at universal bike stands. It also comes up as what is it? Direct fit side stands or kick stands for push bikes. And it just bolts into the two holes that you've got. You've got screw threads at the back frame near your rear axle, where this is, funnily enough. And the hole centres are 40mm apart, and I'm sure these are M6 bolts. So all you need is a stand that has its hole centres 40mm apart with M6 bolts. That's all you need, and it can be found. I'm not going to go into, because all I did was went on eBay and I looked through loads of stands, and obviously because this is a bit more sturdy, it'd be a swing arm on a motorbike, but it doesn't swing on this. Your arm, your swingless arm, is obviously thicker. So the ones that clamp on generally don't fit these. So you need the bolt-on ones. And as I say, these are 40mm apart, 6mm bolts. This is adjustable. There's holes on the inside and 2 bolts. So I can actually move this nearer if I want to lean over more, or further away if I want it to stand upright. I've got it in that position. It's leaning at, I don't know, 75 degrees. There you go. Which is fine. I've never had it fall over or anything. The footprint of the stand itself is more than big enough. It's easy to use. Just flicks up behind, which is also quite nice because it's away from the pedals, so there's no chance. Some of them fold forward, but there you go. That's the stand. So please don't ask questions about that. I went on eBay, I put in universal bike stand, and the vast majority that came up were the ones that clamp on here. So you do have to look for it, or just put in your browser for, I think it's direct fit or frame fit cycle kickstand, something like that, and you'll find these. This was about, I don't know now, 12-15 quid, but it has been invaluable. I don't like throwing the bike on the floor, so it's nice to have a side stand. That's about it really. The front forks are adjustable. I haven't managed, hang on. The front forks are adjustable, so if you're on the road and you want it a bit more sturdy, because you're obviously not hitting, well, I was going to say you're not hitting as many bumps, but obviously English roads, it's all a bit of a mess out there. You just turn the top to tighten it up, to give it less dive, and do them both the same. They're not joined, so get them both the same. This is a fairly stiff setup. You can't lock them out completely. I've dialed it right up, and it doesn't seem that you can lock them out completely, but you can definitely get them stiffer, which has been a lot better, because I do more on road than I do off road. And my off-roading is just gravel tracks really, not particularly hilly or rocky. What else have we got? Okay, powering up. easy as pressing a button. You have got 3 bars here, or 3 dots, which are obviously flashing on the camera because they're LEDs, but they are actually solidly lit, as is the standard dot there. But you've got 3 bars on here, which is a bit weird, being that you've got 4 bars on the battery itself. So there's times when this goes down to 1 and you think, oh, I ain't got much battery left, but you're only halfway on your actual battery. As I say, I've had it in standard mode and done 20 miles and still had the battery on 1 bar. I haven't tried a full range check on high, and I haven't really used it much at all in eco because that requires far too much effort, and I'm just not that shape. There's also a bell, which I don't really use because it's there for comedy purposes rather than actually warning people. But there you go, there's my Carrera electric bike, Carrera E bike from Halfords, and I was going to go out on it today, but it's just started raining. I don't really want to go out in the rain. I won't melt or anything, but I don't want to chance it. Hope that helps. This is just a camera mount, by the way. With regard to the handlebar adjustment, you don't just undo this bolt and then this is on a shaft that you can lift up. You buy a kit for hiring the handlebars. I forget what that is called. Mountain bike handlebar riser kit, something like that. I don't know. Again, eBay. This is about 15 quid. And you get a longer stem which clamps into here, and then these spacer rings here stop this being screwed down, because this is a cap on the top with the bolt in, and you've got a captive nut down here somewhere, so this bolt goes all the way down into the captive nut, and then it clamps it all together. So if you didn't have the spacers there, it would just keep pushing that down, pushing your handlebars down. So that's why you have the spacers, and that's pretty much the height, the extra height I've done, about an hour, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Again, kits available on the internet, not necessarily eBay. Go where you like, shop where you like, but it's something like mountain bike riser kit. But you'll know it when you see it, because it is a tube with these spacer rings, and it'll give you the longer bolt. I don't know whether it came with this top bit as well, but you get the longer bolt, and yeah, as I say, the spacer rings and a tube, longer tube. Well, I hope that's answered a few more questions a bit more in depth. As I say, I've had the bike now for over a year. I've probably used it 50 or 60 times. The battery still seems to be holding strong. I don't do phenomenal ranges on it. I'll go out for about an hour, which is anywhere from, I don't know, 10-15 miles, something like that. So it doesn't get worked hard. I'm not riding it every day and charging the battery every day. As I say, the battery's probably gone through about 50 cycles. Quite a few of those which would be only half to 3/4 of the battery used. I've never run the battery out completely. As I say, I have had it on standard mode with a bit of usage on high, which is just adjustable with these up and down arrows, in case you didn't know. So yeah, I do majority of my riding on standard mode, which is quite a nice bit of assistance on the flat. You still have to put the effort in, but nowhere near as much as you would have to without the electric motor, obviously. High gives you that little bit of boost, and that'll do you up to about 15.5 miles an hour, something like that. And then you're on Any faster than that, you're on actual pedal power yourself. And there does seem to be a fair bit of drag when you are pedaling it yourself with the power on. So, and what I haven't tried is turning the power off and pedaling it myself to see whether that disconnects the motor completely and you don't get that drag feeling. So perhaps that's something I should try. But yes, I have had it in standard most of the time, usage of a little bit of high here and there, and still got roughly 20 miles out of it. So it's more than enough for me. Obviously, if you want any more, get a more expensive bike with a better battery. And I hope that's helped a few people out there in their decision making. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.